guys, this is Erico and I am back again on your computer screens. Hope you guys are doing well because you're watching this video. What in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles X-Men are we looking at for this video? So China has been going through this whole scientific discovery debate, with Rona, and now we revisit a news story that happened in 2018 with a scientist that actually discovered a way to rewrite data and put the rewritten data in embryos. So he is creating disease immune human beings. So it actually originally supposed to have been for HIV, and he had implanted it into an embryo, and then a woman gave birth to it, and China as a whole found out about this, and everyone was just like, oh my god, like like this guy has become god, and the government knew nothing about it.
At the International Summit on Human Genome Editing that He attended shortly after the announcement, the reaction was shock and condemnation.
I understand my work will be controversial, but I believe family need this technology, and I'm willing to take the criticism.
He was working at a university at the time, and he had other people helping him out, and he had worked so hard on this research, and then it becomes such a big thing because many people weren't expecting him to have a breakthrough, and he did. So they found out that he had forged illegal documents, and he went along with this research while not being under the watchful eye of the government, and they sentenced him to 3 years in prison. And the case was a huge big thing because they said there's this guy right now who thinks he's all that because he has made this big breakthrough and the government didn't do it first, basically. So he was put in jail. Many people were wowed. All around the world, there's videos, articles of this guy and how he was able to do this. And I think that it's a good breakthrough, but also I'm very eerie about people playing God in a way, because you never know what could come of this. You never know what hands this type of new information could fall into and what they could do with it. And it's good that they're trying to actually find a cure for a lot of these incurable diseases. I heard that they were trying to rewrite the data of humans for immunity to cancer, which I think is amazing because cancer takes so many people's lives, and it's not much you can do if you do not catch it in the early stages. And you see so many people just become helpless to this disease. But then we have another news update, and he was let out of jail early, to many people's surprise, and it's like a whole switcheroo now. It's like, okay, so I'm out and I'm going to do data transfer for different types of information, and he's asking for funding from the government. It's supposed to be like a $7.1 million project in Chinese money, and where is this coming from? What about your last project? Are we done with that? Did China visit him in jail and say, hey, so we're going to have you do something else under our watchful eye? You forget about the whole, mutant baby thing that you had going on, and we give you funding for this new project that's actually going to help us out and help us to control everybody. Yay! Because this is just so out of left field for me. I don't know where this came from. He comes out and he's like, okay, I'm going to do this now, and he's trying to get funding, and they'll probably give him funding. It's like you've been sitting up in jail over something that honestly I don't feel like he should have gone to jail for. And there were so many people in science in China that were so worried that the government was going to crack down on everybody because they were actually working on the same project. It just was experiments that were under the eye of the government, and they didn't have the breakthrough that this guy had. And now he's out and he's deciding he's moving on to something else that sounds interesting, to have so much data just filed away in like a tiny little microchip is cool and all that. But I don't feel like it's as interesting as the mutant. Let me stop calling it mutant baby. I'm, I'm sorry, you guys. I really do see it kind of mutant. The mutant babies. The babies that are immune to everything. I'm more interested in that because it just seems like it's something that has so much depth to it and it's so much information in there, and like what else could be rewritten?
We're also sending a little bit of protein and instruction for gene surgery. When Lulu and Lala was just a single cell, this surgery removed the doorway through which HIV entered to infect people. A few days later, before returning Lulu and Lala to Greece warm, we checked how the gene surgery went by whole genome sequencing. The result indicated that the surgery worked safely as intended.
Could be born, and how would this help medical science and help people's lives be better? And it makes me sad that he was derailed just because they felt like it was illegal. Everything's illegal when it's not the way that they want it to be. When it's not under the watchful eye, all of a sudden everything is illegal. So, it's kind of just like, hey, he's doing this now. I'm not as interested. I am interested in how he just randomly got out of jail and all of a sudden he's wants this funding that he'll probably get, and I guess everything else maybe will be done under the rug, swept under the rug, forgotten about. I guess he said, let me do something before I get spirited away. Cause so many people get spirited away in China. You don't see them again. They get flew away, spirited away into a river, spirited away into the ground, spirited away into a land that none of us will ever see until it's probably time for us to die. So, it's a lot of crazy stuff going on. China's a trip. China is such a trip. China, it will be China. The government in China will always be the government. It is what it is at this point. Everybody wants to know what happened to the mutant baby. The mutant babies. It was twins. That was like a big thing too. They were cute. And like there's pictures and everything. No one knows what happened to the mutated twins. And, they apparently are immune to HIV. So I'm like, wow. They discovered and actually requested that they be protected and that they needed to be protected because they didn't want the media to find out about these children and their whereabouts, where they are. They didn't want them to be any more of a lab rat than what they already were, pretty much. I definitely don't blame them for that. They're still kids, even though I'm just calling them mutant babies. Hey, I mean, protect the kids. This is definitely just a project that has so many layers to it. That is something that is a breakthrough. It can be kind of scary. You just don't know. Like what will become of this in the future and how this will help science, and will this be like a scary thing where like babies with wings are coming out? Don't know. Couldn't tell you. You guys, this is a lot to think about. How do you feel about this whole situation? How do you feel about the scientist, about the case, about his research and what he found? Put all your thoughts below. Follow my social media, mostly my Instagram, also a blog on East Asian pop culture. It's always down in that link below. And remember, be real, stay real, live in the real, and I will always be back. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for your opinions, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.